What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Quick life update. The physical therapist said that I can take the brace off of my arm unless I am, her exact words, chopping wood, which I don't do too often, so we're gonna play it by ear. But I've got some motion in there, pretty good motion, not quite as much as I'd like there to be, but we're working on it. So there's that. Don't mind the background I got going on back there. I was taking some cute family pictures. You might have seen me posted on Instagram, but I digress. Let's get into today's video. Have you ever seen your photos and thought to yourself, how can I make these look cooler, more dramatic or cinematic? I'm gonna show you a quick way to do that. Whether I'm shooting sports or creative portraits or maternity photos, even selfies here in the studio, I've got a little trick that'll take your photos to the next level. And it's this thing right here. Atmosphere Aerosol, which is basically like a fog machine in a can. And if you've never used this stuff before, then it might be exactly what your portraits need. So I'm gonna show you what it does, how to use it, and how to get the best results. Now, really quickly, Atmosphere Aerosol is a non-toxic water-based haze that you spray into the air and it creates like a smoky, foggy environment. It's safe to use indoors and it won't set off most smoke alarms. And it hangs around in the air long enough that you can take a couple of photos or videos without having to, crack open a whole fog machine and plug it in, and it's a whole thing then. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it's made from a cosmetic grade aerosol mixture, kind of like the stuff they'd use for like stage lighting in theaters, except this is portable, controlled, and super convenient. And I use this stuff for a bunch of different reasons. It adds depth and separation. When there's light shining through the mist, you get kind of these like rays of light that look super dramatic and funky. And it can turn any boring background into a really cool cinematic masterpiece with virtually no setup other than, your cameras and lights and whatever you might be already using. Now, this stuff is super simple to use, but there is a right way and a wrong way to use it. Obviously, it's a spray can, so you're gonna want to give it a few shakes. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's liquid in there. And when you spray it, naturally, you don't want to spray it in your subject's face, but you don't want to hold it upside down. I've had a lot of people helping me out sometimes, and they go to spray it kind of like this at a weird angle, and I'm like, no, don't do that. You wouldn't spray hairspray like this. I mean, I guess I wouldn't know, I'm bald. But the point is, you don't want to hold it upside down. Hold it upright or at a slight angle, just not facing too far in the opposite direction, like upside down. And I've definitely taken photos as it's coming out, which occasionally can look cool, but you gotta get the right frame. But typically you wanna spray it and let it settle, and it creates like an even, soft fog. And it'll last a few minutes, but every now and then you're gonna wanna just re-up a little, especially depending on whether or not you have like windows open or an AC running or something like that. And obviously it works best indoors, but I've used this stuff outdoors as well, so long as it's not a windy day. But the most important thing to keep in mind when using something like this is backlight, because the fog is basically invisible unless you have light passing through it. I mean, I feel like I've been talking a lot and not actually showing you what it looks like. So let's spray a little bit of this stuff in here. See what I'm saying? My monitor's over here, but now I got that mist over there. If I turn off this light here, it disappears. That's crazy how quickly it disappears. And look at that. Wow. Mind you, I've got two lights directly in front of me here, but you can't see that mist at all. The second I turn on this hair light there, boom, you got lights. Or rather, you got fog. You know what? Let's try turning on another light in the back and actually killing these house lights. The top lights, the room light. You know what I'm saying? I even turned off my key light and fill light there. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, real dramatic. You know what? Let's turn this one off as well. Yeah, let's just see what we got. Oh, so dramatic. As you can see, it'll kind of linger in the air for a little while, which gives you more than enough time to get some dope photos, so long as you know how to get those dope photos. Obviously, you want to light your subject. I mean, probably you want to light your subject unless you're doing some type of silhouette thing, but you want to have either a backlight or a kicker light. You know what? That light might be a little distracting. Let me go shut it off. So yeah, you're gonna wanna have, what was I saying? A backlight or a kicker light or an edge light or something pointed at an angle or directly behind the subject, just something that the light can pass through. or rather that the fog can pass through. If you're shooting outdoors, try to have the sun behind the subject and use that as your backlight. That works just as well. And I'll say this even, when I've used it in studio, after the fog kind of dissipates and you can't really see it anymore, there's like a subtle mist in the air, and I'll shoot up against a white backdrop where you can't really see the fog, but there's this like soft, subtle glow to the portraits then. It's really cool. So even the after effects of using something like Atmosphere Aerosol can really add some cool effects to your images. Now just keep in mind a little goes a long way, so don't overdo it, but also these things, they last quite a while. I mean, I go through them like hotcakes, but I use this stuff all the time. But they surprisingly last longer than you'd think. Even when it feels as though it's running pretty low, you still got a good amount in there. But yeah, this is my secret weapon for creating dope, dramatic portraits. I'll drop a link down below if you guys want to pick some up for yourself and give this stuff a try. I highly recommend it, 10 out of 10. Again, cheap, portable, and instantly transforms your portraits. So, I hope you liked the video. I hope you learned something here. I hope maybe you guys will pick some up and try it for yourselves and see what you can do with it. That being said, consider hitting that like button and maybe subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.